think now we're ready to go. So hello again also from our side. This is Rieke, Hüllmann and Jonas Fiedrich from HKP Group speaking. We are really excited today that we can share the so-called triangle of share purchase plans with you. Before we're going to get into the details of what that actually is, we would like to introduce HKP Group as a company and ourselves briefly again, then give you some insights about related market insights, and then step into the triangle itself. Starting with HKP Group as an organization, for those of you who don't know what we are doing, we are basically organized in two pillars. One is centered around corporate governance, where we aim to act as a trusted advisor of boards and topics such as how the composition of these boards is structured, on compensation, how they're steered, succession planning, and so on. And then the second pillar, which is focused on strategic HR issues, where we basically cover all topics that keep the CHROs awake at night. So basically here we aim to act as a trusted advisor for the CHRO and the HR function as a whole in defining and delivering the people agenda. And we have a broad range of topics, such as, for example, total rewards, which is my personal focus, where we cover things like employee share purchase plans that we talk about today, but also variable compensation, benefits, and this kind of things. I myself joined HKP 4 years ago. Before, I was with Adidas in Herzogenaurach, where I covered a similar range of topics, first with a more German focus and later on globally. So with that introduction of HKP Group as an organization of myself, I'd like to hand over to you, Rieke.
Thank you very much, Jonas. And hello, especially to the new joiners to this webinar also from my side. I'm Rieke Hüllmann. I'm also a consultant within our HKP strategic HR pillar. And my main 3 topics of interest are the design and implementation of employee share purchase plans, as well as executive compensation and strategic HR transformation processes. Before I joined HKP, I completed my PhD together with Jan Hennig in the field of employee share purchase plans, and I also gained several years of experience as an internal consultant within the area of compensation and benefits at listed companies. And as Jonas already said, before we now dive into the triangle of the share purchase plans, we would like to give you just a little bit of an background information on ESPPs in Germany, taking into account the current market trends. Oops. So the GEO study was already mentioned. To rephrase some questions where our data on the next 2 slides is coming from. So in collaboration with the GEO organization, we conduct a survey every year where we investigate current market trends. And the study delivers not only information on ESPPs, but as you can see on the slide, also on a wide range of different topics related to equity. So if you're interested to participate, the current survey for 2024 is open until January 31st. But let's directly jump into the share purchase plans, and I'll keep it short. But as we already heard in the presentations of, for example, L'Oreal, or also Veolia, that participation rates are going up in the last years. But in order for employees to be able to participate, of course, there must be a plan in place at their company. So the first question, where you can see the answer on this page, that we actually asked companies was the question, do you operate a share purchase plan or related plan? And you can see here in the middle for the orange bar, which shows the result for Germany, that actually in Germany, we see a rather low prevalence of share purchase plans, especially compared to Europe, but also to the rest of the world and to North America, where shares are more prevalent overall. So the second question I would like to share with you, then, of those companies that do offer a share purchase plan, what type of plan? We already heard also before that there are different types of plans. And I would like to focus within this presentation on the first and second type that you see on this page. So the share discount plan and the share matching plan. The general concept of share discount plans is that employees receive a discount directly at the time when they buy the shares. And for the matching plan, there are different ways to design them, but the most prevalent form in Germany is that you buy 3 shares, hold them for 3 years, and then get a matching share after 3 years. And again, if you look at the orange bar for Germany, you can see at the moment for the year 2023 that the companies have at the same level discount plans at place as they do have share matching plans. And I looked at the previous years, and what we can see here is a development that goes into the direction of share discount plans, because in the last year, still the number of companies with matching plans was higher than discount plans. So discount plans seem to be the moving up, and we are excited to see the numbers for the next year with regard to what plans the companies select. Yes, and with this little insight into the market trends, I would like to hand over to you, Jonas.
Thank you very much, Rieke. So yeah, now that we've seen how these plans are usually designed in Germany, and also have seen that still the prevalence in Germany of those kind of plans are relatively low compared to the European average and also the North American average, one could wonder if these kind of plans are just not any attractive for German companies. But the tool that we want to show you today, so-called triangle of share purchase plans, shows exactly the opposite. Namely that those plans are on average super attractive for companies based in Germany. And to simulate that, we offer a possibility on the website mab-renditedreieck-calc.hkp.net. So the great news is you can try out that tool for free online on your own later on, but I'm going to lead you now through the tool itself, how you can use it, and deliver some really interesting and astounding facts about it, in my opinion. So first of all, when you open the website, you can set some basic input parameters. First of all, you can choose between different German stock markets. So now we selected here the DAX, which combines the biggest 40 companies in Germany, but you could also select MDAX, SDAX, or the TechDAX. And then in the second item, company, you could either select an entire index. Right now we selected the DAX, so we're going to look at numbers for the average in the DAX, but you could also select every individual of the 160 biggest listed companies from Germany. Right here in this field. Then you can select if you want to see in the triangle that we're going to see right after, if you want to look at total returns for longer periods of time, or if you want to see annual returns, average annual returns. And then you can select an annual investment in euro. We have heard about, I think at L'Oreal, that it's in Germany about 4,600 on average for this company. We calculated here with a number of 1,200 euros for the simulation. And then what you can do here under program type is you can select different types of programs. As we have heard from Rieke before, most prevalent, we see the share matching plans or share discount plans. You can simulate both within this tool, but for now, we selected the share matching plan, and then you can here under the level of matching define the constellation that you want to simulate. In this case, we choose the most prevalent one that we see, which is the 3-to-1 matching rate, which means for every 3 shares you buy under the plan that you get 1 free share from the company. And as well, we selected here a holding period of 3 years that you could vary for your simulation. So which means you get this matching shares only if you're holding the shares you bought for 3 years. Another thing you could simulate here is, especially for the German purpose, the different tax-free amounts that we have heard about today as well. For now, we calculated with the new amount of 2,000 euros as a tax-free amount for the matching shares that we're going to see starting in 2024. And then we also simulate with the tax-free amount on capital gains of 1,000 euros that is in place right now. So after selecting your input parameters, you will see the result in form of the triangle. That's the title of our presentation. It looks like this, and it basically is structured around 2 dimensions or axes. On the vertical axis, you can see the time of the purchase, starting from 1996 to 2021. And on the horizontal axis, you can see the time of sale, so when the shares that were bought are sold. So to give you an example, if you would have bought shares in 1996 and sold them in 2022, the total return in this case of average DAX index companies would have been 165.17% after taxes. And this logic basically applies to the entire triangle. The color code is also helping to identify the type of returns that we are seeing. So basically the dark green color that is dominating the triangle shows returns that are larger than 20%. The more light green colors show different other positive returns, first from 10 to 20%, from 5 to 10%, and from 0 to 5%. And then the few red spots we see here show the case where you would have seen a negative return for combinations, time of purchase, and time of sales. Again, in this case, the triangle is shown for the DAX index. So it's an average over all of the 40 companies. And we calculate with an annual investment of 1,200 euro as shown before on the yellow overview. And we use the program type of a share matching 3-to-1 and a 3-year holding period. Now, another output that we see as part of the return triangle is an overview that we see here, where we have for different periods of time the information that comes from the triangle summarized in table form. So we see for different periods of years, from 1 to 5 years to 7 years to 10 years up until 20 years in the first column, what is the average annual return that we would receive? In this case, again, simulated for the average DAX case that we showed before, and then the average total return for that period. In the third column and the fourth column, we would show the average profit in euro that we would have achieved from the investment that we see in the fifth column, based on this 1,200 euros per year that we would have invested. So when we go to the very bottom, over a 20-year period, we would have invested 24,000 euros and would have seen a profit of an impressive 33,000 euros, which equals an average total return of 138.13% in the DAX. Now, if we look at the numbers not for the DAX average, but for every of the 160 individual companies that we see on the next slide. We see a similarly very positive outcome, because if we look at the 10-year period, 98% of the share purchase plans from DAX, MDAX, and SDAX would deliver positive returns, again, simulated in this 3-to-1 matching logic with a 3-year holding period. Moreover, 85% of the companies would show returns of at least 50%, and only 1 in 50 companies, so around 2% of companies, would show negative returns, which we believe really makes the case that, of course, employees should invest all their salaries into employee share purchase plans, but that they really show or are an impressive tool for employees in capital building, and also a measure for retirement savings. And this point is also shown on the next slide, where we compare the average return that comes from the 160 companies if a 10-year period would be used in a share matching plan of 3-to-1, where we would see an average return of 103%. If we compare that to the same average of just the company's return without any matching, we would see the 56.57%, and also different types of investment possibilities, like an average company pension scheme with 46.61%, or a 10-year federal bond would show much fewer return possibilities. So to sum it up, we're really convinced that this low offering rate in Germany of these type of programs is something that should be improved. We hope that the new legislation will help to do that. And thank you very much, other than that, for your attention. If you have any questions on what we showed so far, please feel free to ask. Also, feel free to contact us afterwards via email or via phone, and feel free to check out the tool online. Thank you very much.